What's up guys? Today we are going to be doing a mid taper with a textured fringe. I'm going to start off with cutting the top. So we're going to fully saturate the hair. We're just going to keep spraying and spraying, and when you think you've sprayed enough, spray a little bit more. Basically, this is just going to make sure that you have clean sections, and whenever you're doing your scissor work, you maintain proper tension. So to start, you're just going to comb the hair following its natural growth pattern. So there's the crown, and whenever you make your first section, you're going to start right at that crown and you're going to push it towards the recession in the front. Sectioning with feel and then sectioning with sight afterwards. So I didn't quite like that section right there, so here I'm redoing it again and just making sure I really like where my section is sitting, because this is basically separating the top of the hair and the sides of the hair. Making sure we get these first sections right is going to make blending the sides, let's say like the fade, into the style on top way easier. So we're just going to do the same exact thing on the left side of the hair, starting at the crown, and we're going to be pulling towards the recession in the front, just making sure our section is as clean as possible. And since we are working with natural sections following the shape of the head, in front of the ear, our section could change slightly just depending on the style of the haircut itself. So here, once we have our sections done, we're going to clip the hair up. His hair is a little on the shorter side, but I usually like to twist the hair and then clip it up with one clip just so it's out of the eyes. So now that we got our sections done, separating the top of the hair and the sides of the hair, we could go ahead and start our scissor work on the sides. So again, full saturation of the hair. So when I'm doing my scissor work on the sides, I'm going to be creating 2 points of reference for myself. One on the bottom of the hair is where the fade is going to meet the scissor work, and then at the top of the hair, where let's say we could call it the transition zone, is going to start kind of fading into the top of the hair, if that makes sense. So here I have my hands on the head. This is going to be the top of the fade, where the fade starts to blend into the scissor work. So we have our knuckle on the head doing our scissor work, because once we put our guard on, this should fade right into that scissor work. So now we're going to cut our top guide. We're going to pull down to where we want it and then pull out from the head. So I cut his hair not too long ago, so I'm going to have sort of this short bit, long bit in the middle. I'm just going to cut that piece right there. And I'm just going to follow that all the way around his head. So one thing when you're doing scissor work is you want to keep your tension the same, because if not, then the cut's not going to be the exact same all the way around the head, because it could be loose in this area or it could be too hard in this area, which is going to just create inconsistencies in the haircut basically. So here, as I get towards kind of, I guess, the temple area, I'm bringing my hands just a little bit closer to the head, because that's where it's going to fade into. So boom, right there, my knuckles on the head. That's where the fade is going to fade into the scissor work. So then again, on the same side, just creating my top of the guide here. So whenever I'm pulling these sections away from the head, it really kind of depends on what shape I'm trying to create. So since I have my bottom points and my top points, depending on where I put my top point and my bottom point is the shape that I'm creating, if that makes sense. So again, as I get towards the temple area, I'm bringing my shape into the head because that's where my fade is going to be connecting into that scissor work. So once I have both my bottom points and my top points, now I can take diagonal sections connecting those 2 points. So here, let's go ahead and take my first section. So my guide is going to be right there at the top. I don't know if you can see it. So boom, right there. And my comb is making the line towards that bottom, towards my bottom guide. So I gotta say what's up to Eric real quick and continue with the haircut. So again, taking a diagonal section, I'm going to have a top guide and the bottom guide, and my comb is going to connect my top guide going down to my bottom guide right there, right into the head. So boom. Now we're just going to follow this all the way until we're on the left side, and then we're going to do the same thing to the right side of the hair. Man, I think the last time I recorded a YouTube tutorial like this was back when I first started cutting hair, maybe like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago or so. So I'm just trying to get back into it. So boom, got my top guide, bottom guide, connect those 2 points. As easy as that. But yeah, I want to try posting maybe at least once a week, at least one of these haircut tutorials. So if you're watching this and you have a haircut you want to learn, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what kind of haircuts you guys want to see, and I'll make sure to record that and get that tutorial out for you guys. So his hair is a little on the thicker side, so it is a little bit harder just to make these sections. So if you needed to, you could clip his hair up, each one of these sections, just to keep the hair out of the way. I didn't really feel like I needed to with his hair today, but sometimes I do if that hair starts coming into that section, just to kind of keep it a little cleaner and to focus on the hair that I'm cutting. So boom, just finished with the left side of the hair. Now we're gonna go on to the right side. And again, making sure to fully saturate the hair to ensure clean sections and proper tension. So here, taking diagonal sections, got my guide at the top. And since I already pretty much cut this, I'm not gonna be cutting too much because I already cut it whenever I was doing the left side. So as I'm cutting, this is kind of just like cross-checking in a way. And then as I get a little bit more towards the right side of the head, there's going to be a little bit more hair to cut. Another thing to note, whenever you're taking these sections, make sure they're about a comb's width. Doing that will make sure that you don't accidentally over-direct one piece of hair towards another section and unintentionally making that piece longer than it needed to be. And here we're going to take our last section. Don't need to cut anything, great. So now we can start working on the top. Again, saturating the hair. Just combing everything towards the back, making sure all the hair is fully saturated. Okay, so now we can start working on the top. I'm going to take a section right down the middle. Just making sure that's a natural section right there. And once we got that nice and clean, then we could start working on the sides of the top. Which, if you know DFS, this is zones 3 and 4. So when you are cutting zones 3 and 4, you're going to be working on your horizontal shape and your vertical shape at the same time. The vertical shape is going to be determined by your elevation. This is how low or high that you pull your section out to. So the lower you pull it, the heavier it's going to be. The higher, the more round your shape is going to be. And in between, more square. For this haircut, we're going to keep our elevation right below square. So as I'm pulling my sections out for these zones 3 and 4, I'm pulling to my line right underneath. So right there. That's the top of the guide, or that's the top guide I made when I was doing my scissor work on the sides. So me pulling to this line is basically connecting the top to the sides seamlessly. And as I get in front of the ear, then I can change my angle or my shape to work with the style that I'm creating. So here I'm bringing it just a little lower elevation to keep the bangs a little bit longer and a little heavier in the front. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the right side. Pull to my guide underneath, and then in front of the ear, change my angle depending on the shape I want to create. And boom. And once I'm done cutting, I'm just going to make sure the bangs are the same length here, and then I could start working in the middle, which is zone 5. So here, as I'm working in zone 5 on the back, I'm working in front of the crown. I already cut the back of the crown whenever I was elevating zones 3 and 4. So I don't have to worry about that right now. So now I'm going to take horizontal sections, combs width, and as I pull up, I'm going to be seeing short bit, long bit in the middle. And I'm just going to cut off that little bit of extra texture and movement in the hair, since he does have pretty straight and thick hair. Take my horizontal section, see a short, and then cut that long piece off in the middle. So now once we're done cutting zone 5 right in the middle, we're going to go right here on the corners, and then here these corners will be cut depending on the shape I want to create. So I'm just slightly rounding them off. So once I'm finished with all of that, then I like to ask my client if he likes the length of his bangs. If yes, cool. If not, then here's whenever I start to trim them. So I'm point cutting the bangs and slightly following the shape of the head. I don't want it to be too square in the front, which is going to leave like that bowl cut. So slightly following the shape of the head into kind of like that shape I created whenever I was cutting zones 3 and 4. So you'll see it right here as I'm cutting, and then right here on this corner, it's gonna connect into it's going to connect into that shape I already cut in. So boom, right there. And when I'm finished with the bangs, I just like to take vertical sections here just to make sure the bangs aren't sitting too heavy. So if I see a corner, that'll just feather that out right there. So boom, that's pretty much all the scissor work on top. Now we're gonna style it. Just getting rid of all the hair right now with a blow dryer. So I'm gonna start with a sea salt spray, 245 sea salt spray. Put a couple squirts of that in. And then we're gonna follow that with clay, 245 as well. Take about like a fingertip pea-sized amount or whatever. Just rub that in your hands, get it a little warm, and then start putting that pretty much everywhere in the hair. So you really want to get in there and not just put the hair, or not just put the product on the top of the hair, but actually get into the roots of the hair, and that's where kind of all the texture and the hold and all the nice like texture movement is going to come from. Now we're going to start on our blow drying and styling process. So I like to start in the back, kind of around the crown area, and just start scrunching. My blow dryer is on medium heat and high speed right now. So just scrunch, scrunch, and scrunch until it's dry. And I'm also working with the hair's natural like growth pattern and just scrunching to bring out a lot of texture. And then here I'm using the vented brush just to kind of comb the hair forward into its natural direction. And then after that, I'll just keep scrunching to add more texture. Same thing on this other side, comb and scrunch. So I would recommend styling your client's hair. Not everyone knows how to style hair, and this is what's gonna really separate you as a barber, is actually styling your client's hair and even educating your clients on how to style their hair so that they can do it at home themselves. And this could actually bring in more product sales, bring you in more revenue, and stick out from other barbers, because most barbers don't really style their clients' hair. So here in the front, I'm blow drying up to kind of give like that fluffy volume. So this is how you get kind of like that fluffiness in the front, styling it up and then back down. So you get kind of like that wave, like that waviness, poofiness almost type of thing. And just kind of just keep scrunching and moving the hair. So that's pretty much the whole styling process. Now we're gonna go on to the fading process. I'm gonna start with my 4. So this right here is my 4 open. Remember whenever we were cutting our first cuts in the back with the scissors, this 4 is going to connect right into that scissor work that we had our knuckles on the head with. So boom, right into that scissor work with the 4 guard, using our comb to feed it in. And once we have it open, we'll close it right underneath that section we just did. And then I'm just blow drying to make sure the hair is dry as I'm cutting. So now, just using the 3-finger method, make sure that I have enough room to put my bald line in. So here I got my 245s. Put in my bald line in for a mid taper. And one thing I would say whenever you're putting your bald line in is make sure you put it high enough to where you will actually have contrast in the fade. Like usually on everyone's neckline there will be like this M, and just make sure it's above that. And then also use a mirror to make sure your line is straight. And then we'll move on to our no guard open, about a finger's length width or so. Just making sure our section is nice and clean. So right after that, I like to get my 1.5 guard, and this is going to be open as well. and I'm gonna go right above my no guard open, same width, and creating my second guideline for the fade. And once I put that guideline in, I'm gonna close it and I'm gonna go halfway up that section again, so that's gonna kind of act as like my one open almost. And once I have that in, I'm gonna put my 3 guard on, open, and same thing right above that. So this is gonna connect right into that 4. So open, flicking up at the top, not going into the head, but just coming off the shape of the head. And then again, we're gonna close it. And just fading out any kind of lines we see in the fade. And here, going back to my 1.5, we'll go open and we'll tag the line in between that 1.5 and the 3. So here I'm gonna play with my lever. I just went halfway. Make sure you dust your client off, you blow dry them off all the time, and keep a clean canvas. So now I'm going in with my half guard. I like to do my half guard halfway, and I'm gonna tag that line right above the no guard open. So I'm gonna tap that line, and after I tap that line, I'm gonna go open with my half guard. So boom, right there, going open and spreading out that lightness. And then once I do that, then I could start detailing a little bit, getting rid of any dark spots, opening, closing my lever, using the corners of my blade to take out any dark spots and detail the fade. So detailing, I learned, it's basically like trial and error. Just start with a higher guard and just go lower and lower until the line comes out. And you just do that in every single spot of the fade. So right there, open, closing little by little until the dark spots come out. And now we're gonna take our shaver. I like to go right up to the line, not quite right up to it. I like to keep maybe like half a guidelines, and then right above that, I like to start flicking. So shaver on the head right there. But once I get towards that line, I'll start flicking up towards it. Now to take our bottom line out, we're gonna go with our no guard closed. We're gonna tap that line once again. Just tap the line, tap the line. And once we tap the line, we're gonna go halfway with our lever. So here we got it all. So boom, go halfway with our lever. We're gonna go right above that. So now, in theory, if we close it 1 notch, everything under that halfway should come out. And if not, then we just start detailing. So after I do all of that, I like to open my guard back all the way up and just start detailing the fade again. So just play with the lever. Every little section you go, start with a higher guard or with your clipper open, and just go little by little, close it little by little until any dark spots come out. And that's pretty much how you detail. Just spread out that lightness and get some good contrast on the fade. lot of corner work as well. So here, let's do the side again, the right side, 3 fingers length. I'm gonna punch my bald line in right around the ear line, and then like towards the C cup, I'll raise that bald line up just a little bit. So shaver, and then we can go with our no guard open, about a finger's width, finger's length or so. Right above that, we can go with our 1.5 open. Halfway up that section, we're gonna close it. And then once we got that in, go with our 3 open. I'm gonna fade that right into our scissor work. And then we'll close it. And then we'll start our process of fading down. So boom, just getting rid of any lines we see. Put our 1.5 on, start open. And now, oh, right here I saw a little line in the back, so just hitting that, no guard, just detailing a little bit more. I think I'll probably take my shaver as well and start hitting it down on that to kind of feather that line out. So now let's go back to our half guard, halfway. We're gonna tap the line. And then right after that, we're gonna go open. Boom. And just start detailing that. Make it nice and clean. Right after that, we're gonna go to our shaver. Alright, so we're gonna use our shaver right up to the line, and once we get towards it, we're gonna start kind of flicking it out, trying not to create a hard line. And then, no guard close, we're gonna tap the line, take out this bottom line. And once we punch that up a little bit, we're gonna go halfway. And then, in theory, if we close it one more notch, it should take that line out. And if not, we're just gonna detail from there. And once we're done with that, we're gonna open our guard, or open our lever, and then start detailing once again. And that's pretty much how I do my fading system. So for barbers trying to learn how to fade, I would recommend sticking with a system or finding a system that you do like, and then just kind of mastering that, learning from other people and picking things from this person and just kind of putting it together to create your own system. So here we're gonna start on the left side and see if you keep up. So as I said earlier, this is my first YouTube video in like 4 or 5 years or so. If it's your first time here, it probably is because I haven't posted, whatever. My name is Aaron Medrano. I live here in Houston, Texas, and I own 2 barbershops, Change Barber Studio. We have 1 location in Pearland, 1 location in Sienna where I cut out of right now. And right here, one of the barbers made these cool door hangers that he's gonna go to apartments and hang, which is pretty cool. But anyways, so I've been cutting hair for about 5 or 6 years now or so. I started senior year of high school. I just had to figure out what to do after high school. I knew I didn't want to go to college, and I would always watch YouTube videos just like this about cutting hair. And that's kind of how I got started. I was always interested in hair, but I just never pursued it. The plan was always to maybe go to college or go into the medical field. My mom's a physical therapist, so that was one of the options, or real estate. I really had no idea, but barbering was always in the back of my mind, so I gave it a try, and pretty much ever since then, I just fell in love with cutting hair and the industry and the business behind it. And about 7 months ago or so, just opened my second barbershop, so it's pretty cool. Now I really just want to help like other barbers or people who are thinking of getting into barbering and show them that you could actually make a career out of this. And like, no matter if you're young, you're just coming out of high school, or you're older and you're looking for a new career change, like barbering is one of those careers where in like a year it could change the whole trajectory of your life for the better. But yeah, so back to the haircut. So here, right around the ear, I like to go with either like a 4 or a 3 right on the edge up, or right on the line up, whatever you want to call it, just to kind of take it down a little bit to get a clean line on there. Same thing on this side, just take it down slightly. In here, I always feel like when I do my tapers, the left side is always different from the right side. So I'm just coming back here and just detailing a little bit more, just trying to match the tapers. And then once I'm done with that, then we can start doing the edge up. So for me, whenever I do the lineup, I have a system. So I always do the right side around the ear, left side around the ear, and then I do the right C cup and then the left C cup, literally every single time. Here, whenever you're doing the edge up, just make sure you have a finger on the head for stability. You're holding down the ear with your other finger, and just make sure you don't nick the ear or something. Just clean it up, and boom, we'll do the left side. And whenever I do lineups, I don't like to push super hard on the client or on the skin. I just don't feel like it's comfortable for the client, and you can still get a clean line without doing that. Also, another thing, whenever you are pulling down the ear, just be aware that you are pulling the skin as well. So whenever you do let go of the ear, the lineup could be higher than you wanted. So just be aware of that whenever you are cutting it. They're just cleaning it around the ear, making it look nice and sharp. So here we do the right C cup. Just picking up the hair to see where the natural line lays. And then I like to use the left corner of the blade and just start sculpting that C cup out. And then just coming back down, just go over it again. Same thing, just using that left corner to sculpt it out until it's where we like it. And then here I like to use the comb to kind of just make sure the C cups are going to be on like the same level from the front view. And then here, instead of the left corner, I like to use the right corner. So not putting the full blade on the skin, except right there. But as I'm doing that curve, just using that right corner and slightly tilting it to get that nice curve right there. And then I like to blow dry the client off. I think that's pretty much the whole haircut. Yeah, so just restyling the hair, scrunching, bringing out the texture back. So when you style hair, you could hit it with a cold shot at the end, and the cold shot is basically just gonna lock that product in. So whenever you do put it in, you put the product you put the product in when the hair is damp and you're warming up the product, and you're kind of just blow drying it and molding the hair into like kind of like the texture you want and the shape that you want. And then that cold shot is just really gonna lock that in. And here, just make sure you always clean up the neck hairs. You don't want your client leaving with neck hairs. Follow up with the shaver. I like to use a shaver on the neckline as well, But yeah, that's pretty much the whole haircut. Mid taper, that messy textured fringe. Thank you guys for watching. Here's that aftershave. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, comment down whatever videos you want to see. It could be haircut tutorials, videos about business, what kind of haircut videos you want to see, just whatever. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.